Okay, today I'm going to talk about this poster and why it's totally wrong. From top to bottom, this thing is full of misinformation, deception, and ignorance. And so here I go. First of all, this woman is not a teacher. She did not write this, and she is actually an actress in Denmark who plays a teacher on a TV channel called TV 2, and her name in real life is Mila Dennison, and the TV show is called Rita. She didn't make up this poster, and she's not saying these things to you. So we should just throw it out there because the source is being deceptive. But here we go. We're going to go on and talk about everything. I'm going to talk about everything that's wrong, and then I'm going to make another video talking about the few things that are right and explaining them with nuance. The minimum income tax in Denmark is actually just under 30%. So that's wrong. We pay a sales tax of 25%, yes. And on top of that, the government applies duties and fees. I have no idea what that means. Maybe they're talking about in business. All this is made up, so is that. I don't know. A gallon of gasoline is $10. No, right now it's just under $8, I think, but it is more than in the U.S. Tax on a car is 180%. Okay, so my issue here is that $40,000 is actually 200% of $20,000. So that's just a big problem in math there. $36,000 would be the correct answer. Denmark is not the highest tax nation in the world. We don't pay 80% on every dollar earned in tax. That's wrong. I don't even know where he gets it from. Few will ever own a house or car. That's not true either. My family, we own our car outright. I know many people that own cars and houses. They would be surprised to know that in Denmark, there are only a few of us. Yeah, and then the rest of it, $80,000 annually pays a 68% tax. The highest income tax in Denmark is 51%. I just have no idea where this guy is coming up with these numbers. And there are greedy people all over every country, but Denmark doesn't really have a problem with tax evasion. Denmark's suicide rate. Okay, so my issue with this one is that we're talking over the past 5 decades. You can't compare Denmark to the U.S. over 5 decades because about 5 decades ago, Denmark was still recovering from World War II. You can't compare these things. Since we're talking about present-day taxes, let's talk about present-day suicide rates. Denmark's present suicide rate, according to Wikipedia, who cited the World Health Organization, is 8 per 100,000 people, something around 8, whereas the U.S. is 12. And okay, then 11% of adult Danes are on antidepressants. I couldn't find anything that said that. I found a lot of places where it said 11% of Americans are on antidepressants, and I think that he just put that in there for confirmation bias. Like, if you knew how many Americans were on antidepressants and you were an American reading this, then this would seem right to you, but it's wrong. The only thing I could find was a medical research paper on Scandinavia where they cited that in 2011, 8% of adult Danes, or 8% of them were taking antidepressants. I don't know if it was adults or not. The adult thing is really weird. Everyone wants the American dream. In Denmark's neo-communism economy, no one will ever own or accomplish anything. That's just complete bullshit. No, first of all, Danish people do not want the American dream, and I can talk about that more, but it's just that's way too nuanced. Everyone doesn't want anything, first of all. Okay, and then here he calls Denmark's economy neo-communism, which I think is incredibly insulting for any Danish person because it insinuates Soviet Russia links or something about their economy, and they are like so anti-Russia, it's not even funny. So it's just audacious to attach this to a Danish person's face and make it sound like a Danish person is calling their own economy neo-communistic. Oh, ugh, it's barftastic. No one will ever own or accomplish anything. Now, if I lived in a society where that was true, I would be really depressed and sad. But that's not true here. Actually, it's more possible to own and accomplish things in Denmark than it is in the United States. I just think this entire poster is completely fabricated. People are reading it like it's true and sharing it like they think it's true, and people just need to wake up and see how easy it is to be manipulated by social media these days. Like, don't share something unless you know what you're sharing. And anybody that shared this is an ignorant fool, and the person that made this is a deceiver. And so I'm here to rail against deception for the rest of my life. Thank you.